Welcome to the Primo's Musings podcast.
Good evening. This is Shri here, and day 5 of the Wimbledon featured one of the top matches we played in a while between Alcaraz and Tiafoe. This was a rematch of the U.S. Open that happened 3 years ago, and for a moment it did look like Tiafoe was definitely in the driver's seat. But one of the things, just like Novak with Carlos, never say never. Um, uh, he just doesn't back down. Uh, he wasn't serving that well. I mean, his percentage was hovering around 60%, but he just made some excellent shots to kind of stay in the game. Um, and I know there was many times, even in the fourth set, uh, it went to a tiebreaker, um, and but in the tiebreaker, one of the things is that Alcaraz is actually 0-3, was 0-3 against Tiafoe in the tiebreaker, but today he played impressively and won the tiebreaker much easily. But let's start off. I think in the first set, Alcaraz actually had a 4-2 lead and looked like he was on his way to win the first set. But great comeback by Tiafoe, comes back and then wins the first set at 7-5. Alcaraz wins the second set 6-2, where his first serve percentage definitely went up. Um, he started his usual strokes with his serve and volley and then some of these drop shots. But then Tiafoe came back and won the third set 6-4. And in the fourth set, it went down all the way to the tiebreaker, and Carlos proved to be the better player in the tiebreaker for once against Tiafoe. And in the fifth set, it was just a matter of how Carlos just put on. It's very impressive to use a 21-year-old just, doesn't phase under pressure. And even the shots that he was hitting in the slippery grass surface, he was able to, get some excellent drop shots to just, um, keep Tiafoe pretty much not able to move from the baseline. So impressive playing by Alcaraz to win uh, a very, very tough match. I definitely knew this was going to be a tough match when we were doing the previews. This was the matchup that I knew it was going to come down to. And great job by Alcaraz to move on to the fourth round. In the other, one of the things today was that there was rain played havoc again in Wimbledon, and but Tommy Paul didn't have any problems at all to beat Bublik 3-4-2, much easier than what it seemed. And then Dimitrov, excellent playing. He's been playing excellent. He's in the top 10, beating Monfils 3-4-3. So, but then Sinner was just impressive against Hikmanovic, 1-4-2. I watched a little bit of that match, and he looked really impressive. As for the rest of them, most games were suspended, including Medvedev, who's now in the fourth set. On the women's side of things, um, you had some really impressive games today with Raducanu. What an amazing performance by her. She's now to the second weekend in Wimbledon. Um, I mean, she's only 21. Think about that. She's already won a major, but she's had some issues. She fell off the rankings, but now she took out Maria Sakkari pretty easily, 2-3 in the third round. And then um, another impressive winner was Coco Gauff, who won against Kartal, who's one of Raducanu's friend, a fellow Brit, 4-0. So impressive win for her. And then Madison Keys and Navarro getting the wins as well from an American standpoint. One really impressive, and I do want to call out is Paula Badosa, a player who has been very impressive when she started playing, but then she's kind of fell off the rankings. Many injuries plagued her, but she continued to fight through, and you could see the emotion in her after she won her three-setter. Won a very tough first set in a tiebreaker, lost the second set to Casatina, who's number 14th ranked right now, and then came back and won it at 6-4 in the third set. So really impressive win for Badosa. And then other winners include Paolini and Andrescu. I believe that was the rematch from the French Open. So what we have on tap tomorrow on the men's side of things, provided rain, there's a lot of matches today that need to be completed as well. But there's some excellent matches that we have on tap. Nori, who beat his fellow countryman Draper, takes on Zverev, red hot Zverev, and then Popperin takes on Djokovic. Uh, Tabilo takes on Fritz. That's going to be a very um, exciting matchup for Fritz. So far, he's kind of breezed through, but Tabilo could give him some problems, I feel. But I'm still going to pick Fritz over Tabilo. And then Zverev, Nori, I already touched upon. Rune is also on the uh, tap tomorrow. On the women's side of things, you do have some excellent matches. Daniel Collins is there playing against the Brazilian Haddad, and then Wozniak and Rybakina. We did touch upon that yesterday, and then you got the Ons Jabeur Svetlina matchup as well in the third round. So these are some of the uh, signature matches that we have on play tomorrow. So it's going to be exciting to see. But today it was the amazing comeback by Alcaraz, just a smooth sailing by Tommy Paul and Sinner. Looking forward to tomorrow to see how Djokovic is going to be ready in his third round. He's been very impressive. Just want to see how he's going to be ready for that. Anyway, with that, we wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening. Good night. And that wraps up day 5 of the Wimbledon.
Thank you for listening. Primo will be back soon.